What's going on, everyone? Ronan here, and welcome back to the channel. We got a lot to cover in today's part, but before we get into that, I'm gonna need you guys to do what you normally do. Take a look at this analytical stat bar, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and don't forget to drop a comment to help fuel the algorithm. And if you possibly want to help the channel get a little bit further, consider becoming a channel member or a patron, so that way you can get access to exclusive content and you can help the channel grow. But with all that being said, let's get into what if Indigo champion Ash challenged the Johto League. Season 2, Part 8. I hope you enjoy. We begin today's story with Ash and Vincent as they step into Ecruteak City on the eve of Ash's next gym battle. After everything that's been happening as of recently, Ash is excited for the prospect of something that is normal, especially with dealing with Team Rocket and the disappearance of Giovanni. Vincent seconds this, considering ever since he met Ash, he hasn't really had a dull moment, and he feels like the excitement in his life can be dialed down a little bit. However, the two find themselves sitting at the Pokemon Center, getting their Pokemon looked at as Ash prepares for his gym battle the next day. Vincent asks Ash one simple question: does our young hero intend to battle with the Pokemon that he has on him? Ash questions Vincent on this line of thought, considering that Vincent knows that each of his Pokemon are strong. While Vincent does acknowledge this, he has to admit that the gym leader here in Ecruteak City is quite the tricky one. While he doesn't want to tell Ash what type of Pokemon that he uses, considering what happened with Whitney, Vincent does convey to Ash that it took him 3 tries before he was finally able to capture the gym badge here. While Ash appreciates his friend's sentiment, he tells Vincent that he believes in his Pokemon, so no matter what, he's sticking with the team that he has now, considering he wants to win as many badges as he can in the Johto region with the Pokemon he caught here. Well, Vincent shrugs this off, telling Ash that he hopes he's right about that, considering this could be the toughest gym battle that Ash has faced in the entire Johto region. Now we cut to the next morning as Ash and Vincent stand in front of the gym. This is it. Ash tried to battle the gym leader once before, but the leader was off on their own thing and the gym was closed for a prolonged period of time. However, this time it appears different. The gym doesn't look as run down and the attendants outside are making sure that it looks nice and tidy. So Ash is confident that today he's going to be leaving here with his 6th badge of the Johto region. However, he's in for a rude awakening when he gets inside and he's met with the tragic news that the gym leader is not in the gym, which Ash quickly cuts to thinking that the gym leader is once again head out on his own adventures. However, the attendant of the gym tells Ash that that's not the case. He's actually had to go meet with the Kimono girls on some very important business. Vincent remarks that he doesn't even know who the Kimono girls are. He's never even heard of them. However, this does jog Ash's memory, as the Kimono girls were the one that taught Bayleaf how to use Body Slam. Without saying another word, Ash darts out of the gym, grabbing Vincent by his collar, telling him to come on. They have no time to lose. Moments later, Ash and Vincent find himself in front of a very odd building that matches a lot of the other exteriors in Ecruteak City, but it's very plain. There's not really any signage or anything outside. However, Ash knows immediately what this place is, as he walks inside as an uninvited guest, which makes Vincent very uncomfortable. However, these fears are quickly put to rest when Ash is met with one of the Kimono girls who are practicing out in the courtyard. This is Miki, the Flareon expert, and she quickly greets Ash, asking if he's here to see who she thinks he is. To which Ash replies he is. He's looking for the leader of the Ecruteak gym. Well, you're just in time, Miki says, as she tells Ash and his new friend Vincent to follow her. She will lead them to where the gym leader is. Moments later, the two find themselves inside of her room, and at the center sits 5 girls, with Miki now joining them, and a man in a purple shirt. Silence befalls the room, as behind them is a giant gold slab with what looks like a legendary Pokemon engraved on it. This catches Ash's attention, which stops the man and the girls from talking, as Ash walks past them, completely ignoring the group to approach the shrine. Silence befalls the room, as Ash comes to a stop right in front of the marvelous engraving. However, the silence is quickly interrupted when the man asks the boy what he is doing. He has no right to be here or interrupt their meeting. However, this is where Miki interrupts, telling the girls that Ash has returned, and he's here to see Morty about a gym battle. This is where Zuki, the Umbreon specialist, speaks up, reminding everyone that Ash did say he would be back at some point, and it looks like today's the day. To which the Espeon expert, Naoko, seconds, telling Morty that it wouldn't hurt to take a break. They've been at this now for hours, just discussing and going in circles. They really have no new leads since their talk with the other group from the other day. So why don't he take this time out to have a gym battle and clear his mind a bit? Maybe it'll cause something to come to the young gym leader. With a sigh, Morty relents, as he does admit that his brain has been a little bit on overdrive lately, trying to figure out the mysteries of this tablet, as it depicts a scene with Ho-Oh and what looks like the resurrection resurrection process of the 3 legendary beasts. So, taking the advice of the evolution sister, Morty approaches Ash, questioning him about the tablet, asking him if he thinks it's as brilliant as it seems to be, to which Ash only can reply with one thing, saying that he's seen this Pokemon before. This captures the attention of everyone in the room, as stunned silence befall them once more. However, Morty is quick to put this down. What do you mean you've seen Ho-Oh before? That Pokemon hasn't been seen in over 300 years. But Ash just simply replies with the same response. I have seen that before. Ho-Oh. I saw it on the day my Pokemon journey began. Me and Pikachu both saw it. It was flying above us in the sky after we had been attacked by a herd of Spearow, and once the storm had cleared, a rainbow arced above us, and through it flew that Pokemon, that rainbow-colored bird. While the Kimono girls and Vincent are curious about this revelation, it's actually rubbed Morty the wrong way, as he spent his entire life looking for Ho-Oh, and he refuses to believe that it would just appear to some random trainer like this buffoon that stands before him. However, Ash isn't one to take this insult, immediately getting fired up, saying he knows what he saw. Ho-Oh did appear to him and Pikachu, whether this guy likes it or not. It's not his fault that Ho-Oh would never show himself to some 2-bit trainer like, whoever you are. Speaking of which, I came here for a gym battle from the gym leader. So, by any chance, have you seen him? Ash questions. This angers the man before him even more, as Morty replies that he is Morty, the gym leader of the Ecruteak gym, and if it's a battle that Ash wants, then a battle he will get. But once Morty wins, he wants Ash to stop telling these lies that Ho-Oh revealed itself to him. While Ash doesn't like the attitude of this guy, he does admit that the battle is what he came here for. So he decides to keep his mouth shut for the whole sighting of Ho-Oh event, so he can just get his badge and get out of here. Moments later, Ash and Morty stand across from each other in the Ecruteak gym. One side is a little hostile due to the recent revelations of Ash possibly have seen Ho-Oh, while the other side is a little bit more confused on the situation. Why would this simple gym leader from a backwoods Johto region town even have any interest in what Ash claims? Why would this make him so upset? However, this isn't an answer he's going to find out easily, as the terms of the match are being set. It's going to be a 3-on-3. Ash will be allowed substitutions, while Morty will not. The battle will be over when one side's Pokemon are all unable to battle. There is no time limit. Then the ref makes the call to begin, as Morty decides to send in the first Pokemon of this battle, Shuppet. The ghost type hovers over the field, leaving Ash in a bit of a quandary that his Pokedex must solve. Luckily, Ash had it on hand because he hasn't really been able to battle ghost types that much, outside of the time when he fought Agatha and, well, her Gengar. And he had Haunter to balance things out then, but now he doesn't have it with him. It's here when Ash can see why Vincent asked that question that he did, and he just gulps slightly, knowing that this battle ahead could get a little bit tricky. This is where Morty addresses Ash. Come on, champion, aren't you gonna choose your Pokemon? Slightly stunning Ash a bit. Oh what, you think that I didn't recognize you? Come on, Ash. You're the youngest regional champion to appear in the last half century, not since the very early days when the gym challenge was established. Everybody knows about you. It's not like the news wouldn't travel just outside of Kanto. You've had to have been aware that the more famous you get, the bigger target that's on your back for things like this. And I aim to put you in your place for these false claims of you seeing Ho-Oh. It's here that Ash realizes that there's something deeper going on here, and he doesn't want to get into it, but he knows that it's going to affect this battle with Morty. So he's going to play it safe, choosing to start things off with the newest evolution on his team, Gliscor. I choose you. It's at this moment the battle begins, with Morty taking the first move, ordering a Shadow Sneak from his ghost type. This gives Ash and Gliscor barely any time to counter, as the Shadow type move strikes the Fame Scorpion before he can put up any type of defense. You like that, Ash? That's a move that has priority, so no matter what you try, it's always going to hit before whatever you try to do. While the move didn't cause a lot of damage, Ash is curious to why this gym leader seems to have it out for him. Overall, all the other gym leaders that he battled in the Johto region have been welcoming to his status as champion, but for whatever reason, it seems that his status and him claiming to see Ho-Oh has gotten under his skin. However, Ash isn't going to sit idly by and let this attack go unanswered, as he orders Gliscor to use a Steel Wing. The Fang Scorpion quickly retaliates before Shuppet can fade back into the shadows, being struck with the steel move, and sends it hurtling across the battlefield as it levitates, trying to regain its composure. However, Morty is no stranger to this, as he knows the ghost types have no solid formation, so it's going to take a lot to damage them, and he just lets Shuppet continue to twirl in the air as it absorbed the blow from the Steel Wing, merely calling for a Calm Mind to increase the stats of his ghost. As Shuppet's eyes light up to signify that the move is complete, it again fades back in the shadows, with Morty right back on the attack again, calling for another Shadow Sneak. This strikes true once more, leaving both Ash and Gliscor kinda confused. He's not sure what to do at this point, but whatever he does, it has to be soon, because Gliscor's not going to be able to keep this mounting damage up for long. Luckily, we don't have to wait long, as Ash tries to go for a one-hit KO, calling for a guillotine. As Shuppet begins to prepare to fade back into the shadows once more, Gliscor attempts to lock its claws around the Phantom Puppet, only for it to vanish. Then, it's met with another move, something that Ash was hoping to avoid: Destiny Bond. Wait, why did that not work, Ash says. Really, Ash? I expected more out of you, considering you battled Agatha at the Indigo Plateau. Normal type moves don't work on ghost types, and you tried to hit it with the guillotine? Oh man, is that going to cost you? Because now, your Pokemon is tied to my Shuppet with Destiny Bond. If Shuppet faints while Gliscor is out, well, let's just say Gliscor is going to meet the same fate as my Pokemon. It's here that Ash knows he has to change his tactics, so he decides to break the Destiny Bond, recalling Gliscor for later use, and deciding to go with something to light up the mood a little bit. Magby, I choose you! The baby Spitfire Pokemon emerges from its ball, ready for its trainer command. Well, this is cute, but I'm afraid that it won't save you, Ash. Shuppet, use Shadow Sneak once more. This is where Ash tries his new plan, as he orders Magby to use Double Team in an attempt to outpace the Shadow Sneak. While Magby's evasion does increase, it's still not quite enough, and the little Spitfire is hit with the Ghost-type move, knocking it back. However, the force was minimized because of the Double Team. Realizing that this isn't going to be enough or cause enough damage, and that Destiny Bond is a very real threat if he allows Morty to get it off again, Ash knows that he has to come up with a way to track Shuppet. So he decides to throw in a little bit of the old Ash Ketchum ingenuity to throw Morty off guard. And this is where Morty tries the Shadow Sneak once more, aiming to put Magby away, considering it's one of Ash's lowest level Pokemon. However, Ash is waiting for the attack to strike, and he tells Magby just to hold on. They have to time this just right. And just as the ghost begins to emerge from the shadows, Ash makes his move, ordering a Fire Spin, but to aim it directly at the ground. Magby does so, causing a tornado of fire to emerge from itself, engulfing the Spitfire and anything else in the vicinity around it in flames. Then, you can hear it, the cries of Shuppet as it tries to break the barrier. This is Ash's chance, he thinks. Magby, use Fire Punch! Charging every bit of fire energy into its small fist, Magby launches itself from the ground within the fire tornado, as it strikes Shuppet in the jaw with enough force to send it hurtling from its fire prison and into the gym floor, ending the battle. Morty recalls the ghost type, not really complimenting Ash on his path to victory. Well, I expected you to beat it sooner or later, considering this is my newest Pokemon. It actually just hatched from an egg, a little more than a week ago. Ash thinks that this thing had just hatched from an egg and it's that powerful. This Morty must put his Pokemon through some rigorous training, if that's the case. But he doesn't have time for these thoughts now, as Morty is back on the assault, sending in his next Pokemon. Lampent, I choose you! The ghastly fireball emerges from its Pokeball, ready for its next battle, again throwing Ash off as he's not really familiar with this ghost type, forcing him to use his Pokédex. This is where Ash finds out the reason why Morty chose this Pokemon next, because it's part fire, which would be enough to neutralize the abilities and the fire type power that Magby has. However, Ash can see that the Spitfire Pokemon is still raring to go, very confident from that last win that it just had. It's actually showing a little bit more enjoyment in battles than it usually does, so Ash decides to continue on with it. However, before anyone can decide who gets the next move, Morty is on the attack again, as he orders Lampent to use a Hex to hit Magby as quickly as it can. The eerie lamp summons whatever ghastly powers it has and strikes Magby with all the force that it can, driving the little Spitfire into the ground with force of aggression, which is surprising to Ash. What's the deal with this gym leader? However, his inner thoughts are interrupted when Morty asks the simple question, I thought you were a champion, and your Pokemon can't handle that? Well, that's okay. I really wasn't expecting much from you or your Pokemon anyway. This is the comment that finally breaks the camera's back, as Ash asks the one simple question that's been itching him this entire battle. What is your problem, Morty? Why do you seem to have it out for me more than any other gym leader? This is where Morty begins to laugh and cackle a bit. You really have no idea. Well, let me tell you, Ash, you claim to be the one who saw Ho-Oh, the one person to see it within the last 300 years, after that tragedy that took the lives of all those Pokemon. Well, let me tell you what, Ho-Oh doesn't just reveal itself to anyone. You have to be a trainer of pure heart, and my family has spent the last 300 years trying to regain the trust of the legendary Pokemon. It is supposed to be me that sees Ho-Oh, not you. And the fact that you're walking around telling all of these lies, saying that you were the one to see the rainbow bird, is what has me so upset. You're just like the champion of the Johto region, claiming to have ties to legendaries that has never been proven. And it disgusts me that champions like you and him would be the type of people to make allegations like this, just because you're in positions of power. Well, I have the chance to do something about it today, and you are in my gym for my gym badge. So I'm going to make an example out of you. And at the end of this, not only will I stop your run to the Johto League, I'll show the whole world that the Kanto regional champion is just a huge fake. Now, Lampent, use Hex one more time. End this battle and bring us one step closer to victory. The Lantern does its best to execute the command of its trainer. However, Ash isn't going to let this go over so smoothly. As he orders Magby to stand up, we can still win this. Now, use Double Team. The Spitfire does so, allowing it to evade the Hex from Lampent. This is where Ash may begin to see a clear path to victory. He has an idea, and it's going to be high risk, high reward. But if Magby can pull this off, then it's going to allow him a 2-0 lead over Morty. So let's give it a try. Magby, use Double Team once again, and prepare a Fire Punch. However, this just causes Morty to laugh as he tells his Lampent to take it. Allow them to strike them with this flame that they think is going to win, to which the lamp does, and to Ash's surprise, this is absorbed by the ghost type as its ability kicks in. Flash Fire. This is where Morty begins to laugh. Thanks for powering up Lampent's fire type moves. You're going to make this battle a lot easier than what I thought. However, Ash is smiling. He's not really disappointed by this. He figured that Lampent may have an ability that he doesn't really know about, so he wanted Magby to get close so he can use the real move that he was aiming for, as he orders Magby to use a Smog, but not to blanket it out over the field. No, to focus it solely on Lampent, particularly its flame. This is where the laughter on Morty's face quickly turns to a frown. As he orders Lampent to try and invade, he has to get out of there as soon as possible. However, it's too late as a kaboom rattles the gym, leaving the field encased in smoke. When the dust settles, it's pretty clear the result. Both Lampent and Magby are unable to battle, bringing this to a 2-0 lead for Ash. Our hero recalls his Pokemon, thanking the fire type for all the effort it put in, and he apologizes for having to try such a dangerous move, but he felt that it would be enough to get the lead here. While on the other side, Morty is recalling Lampent, a bit upset that Ash would try something like that, but the question he really has to ask himself, is he upset because Ash did it, or because he didn't think of something like it? With his back to the wall, Morty knows that he can't hold back anymore, so he decides to go with his oldest Pokemon, Gengar, the king of all his ghost types. It's here that Ash has to think about a few things. He still has Gliscor, which hasn't battled, however he still has one fresh Pokemon as well. However, if this Gengar battles anything like Agatha's did, then he knows that he's going to be in a world for hurt. So he decides to try something that has the endurance to go the distance, as he declares, Octillery, I choose you! The octopi emerges from its ball, ready for the first gym battle that it's had a chance to engage in quite some time, and it displays its enthusiasms by slamming its tentacles on the ground, ready to engage with Gengar. It's here Morty decides to pull out all the stops as he orders Gengar into the shadows. However, Ash has something that may be able to counter it this time, as he tells Octillery to charge a Psybeam and then shoot it into the ground. Use it to pulsate throughout the gym and locate Gengar. Much to our champion's surprise, it actually works, forcing the ghost type from the shadows. However, while this did cause Gengar some damage, it was so close to Octillery that it allowed for it to execute its next move, as Morty calls for a mean look that locks Octillery into this battle. There'll be no escaping this, Ash. Your Pokemon won't be able to come back to you until this battle ends. Well, don't worry, Morty. We weren't planning on running. Now, Octillery, use Water Pulse. The octopi begins to charge its water attack. However, this isn't encountered with a Shadow Ball, as Gengar pushes right through its attack, landing the Ghost-type move and forcing Octillery to slide back across the battlefield. This is where Ash tells it to dig in, use its suction cups to stop it from hitting the wall. Doing so, Octillery is able to do something remarkable, as it stretches back from the force of the blow from the Shadow Ball. Then, kind of like an old Looney Tunes cartoon, Octillery flings itself forward, as Ash orders it to fire a Bullet Seed. But this puts the octopi exactly where Morty wanted it, as he orders Gengar Gengar to use a move that's going to assure his win here. Use Hypnosis! Suddenly, the ghost type's eyes glow as Octillery is struck with a psychic type move, causing it to doze off into La La Land. This causes Octillery to fling right past Gengar as it comes to a tumbling stop on the gym floor. Then, before Ash can even make a move and call to his Octopi, Morty orders a Shadow Ball that is driven right into Octillery, bringing this battle to an end and making it an even 1v1. Ash again recalls his Pokemon, thanking it for all the effort that it put in, while Morty just stands there smug, knowing that Gengar is his ticket to victory and showing the world just how much of a fraud that Ash really is. However, our young champion's spirits are far from down, commending Morty on that ghost expert that he really is. His Gengar is very well trained, so he hopes to make this final battle one that everyone can remember, as he declares, "Gliscor, I choose you!" The Scorpion Bat emerges from the ball, ready for another chance at victory, as it stands on its tail, ready to spring into action. With the start of the battle, Morty orders his A's to use the shadows, fade into them, and that will be their key to victory. However, Ash is well aware of this technique, as it's something that Agatha used against him in his previous battle with her, so he's going to do his best to try to mitigate it by ordering Gliscor to use a Mud Slap, kick up as much dust as it can, so that way they can try to identify Gengar before it attacks. Unfortunately, though, all this effort is for naught, as Gengar quickly emerges from the shadows with a ball charge that strikes Gliscor from the behind, before fading back from whence it came. This happens again, to which Ash replies, "Just keep up the Mud Slaps, we gotta create a barrier of some kind." Morty is thinking this is too easy. Ash is just gonna let Gliscor sit here and take all of these Shadow Balls? Man, he's a worse regional champion than theirs. Oh well, it doesn't matter. Let's finish this, Gengar! The Spectre emerges from the shadows once more, ready to deliver the final blow with its supercharged Shadow Ball. However, something begins to happen. Right before it connects, Gliscor just vanishes in a veil of dust. Then a light breeze can be felt. It's here that Morty and Gengar witness Gliscor beginning to fade in and out of the dust cloud that has started to settle, and all of this is causing the dust to be able to whip up into a maelstrom that begins to pelt Gengar little by little, causing it chip damage. Before Morty knows it, Gengar has taken a sufficient amount of damage as it's unable to get its bearings in this sandstorm that has been created. And to top it off, Ash has taken advantage of the confusion when he calls for a next scissor that cracks Gengar from behind. The ghost turns to retaliate with a sucker punch, however it misses as Gliscor fades back into the sandstorm. Then, before the leader knows it, a Steel Wing connects with Gengar once more before Gliscor vanishes off into the wind again. Quick, Gengar, into the shadows now! The ghost does so, but there is one thing it is unable to avoid: the chip damage from the sandstorm that has been created. It's still tracking Gengar, striking everything inside of the building. This is causing the ghost type to become a little uneasy as its health is slowly being lowered. Realizing that they are on their last leg, Morty makes the move to try and finish this. He tells Gengar to emerge. They will wait for Gliscor to make its move, and then strike. However, Ash isn't going to give him the chance as he orders Gliscor in with a next scissor that connects. However, this is what Morty wanted, as he orders Gengar to counter with a Hypnosis. But unfortunately for the gym leader, the sandstorm takes effect again, allowing Gliscor to disappear, then reappear right behind Gengar as it lands another X scissor, dropping the ghost once and for all and bringing this battle to an end. Morty can't believe it. This kid actually beat him. Recalling Gengar, Morty watches as Ash celebrates in the middle of the field with Gligar. It's at this moment that Morty realizes the fool that he's been. He's been so caught up on the fact that Ash said that he saw Ho-Oh that he didn't realize that he was beaten before he came in, to where he showed nothing but aggression towards Ash. Ash showed nothing but confidence in his Pokemon, and in turn, they were able to respond to his heart's desire, allowing Ash to secure the victory today. Smirking, Morty approaches Ash, telling him that he may have been wrong about him. He then presents him with the Fog Badge, bringing Ash's badge count to 6, to which Morty compliments Ash, telling him that the faith that he had in his Pokemon, well, maybe that is something that Ho-Oh would want to see, and that could be the exact reason why it revealed itself to you. Don't ever lose that outlook, Ash. Your Pokemon are what make you strong, not you, and I lost sight of that in this battle. Man, 2 losses from trainers from the Kanto region? I'm really starting to lose my edge, Morty says. Wait, you battled another trainer from Kanto, Ash responds. Oh yeah, the grandson of Professor Oak was here just a couple of days ago. He earned his 6th badge as well. He then said he was moving on to Mahogany Town, as they had some things to take care of there. And that, my friend, is where we are going to end things for now. So, how did you guys feel about this part? What did you guys think of the gym battle between Morty and Ash? How did you feel about the whole thing with Morty being upset that Ash saw Ho-Oh before him? And of course, how did you feel about how the gym battle turned out overall? Are you glad that Gliscor was finally able to get a win for Ash, securing him his 6th badge? Let me know in the comments down below. that's all we had for today's video. I really appreciate you guys stopping by to watch all the way to the end, and I just wanted to say thank you for that. If you guys really enjoy my content, consider following me on some of my other platforms like Discord, where you can get to know other people who are interested in what ifs, or on Twitter, where I post sometimes behind the scenes updates. Or if you want to help the channel grow a little bit extra, why don't you consider donating like the people right here have, as whatever you could offer could help us get to a larger audience by helping us get new videos done, or some of the projects that we more custom art is getting kind of expensive, so we want to make sure that we have the funds to do that. But with all that being said, I really hope you guys enjoyed everything, and I will see you in the next video.